this delusion is that you guys will ever be able to compete with me, let go of it. Yizzo, good morning, everybody. I feel like I've been gone forever. I skipped one day. And I didn't even skip that day, really. I did an addiction recovery show. But I didn't do any regular shows. You know why? I'll tell you why. Tuesday was my birthday, and it was such a great fucking day. After I did my shows, we went out and had a big dinner, the whole family. Then me and Shannon went out by ourselves after that. Had a great time, a great night together. I woke up yesterday feeling good and positive. I wanted to, do my addiction recovery show, but I didn't want to do any other shows because it's all negativity. It really is. It's all negativity, those shows. Like this one is probably going to be. And I just wanted to skip that yesterday. I didn't feel like tearing anybody down. I didn't feel like fucking roasting anybody. I didn't feel like doing any of that, So guess what I did? You ain't going to believe this. I relaxed. Well, don't get me wrong. After the addiction recovery show, I had to take my stepson clothes shopping. I bought him like fucking $500 worth of clothes, and then I had to do a little grocery shopping, and then I came home, and I just laid there. The dogs were driving me up a fucking wall, but other than that, I just laid there. It was a beautiful thing. It was. So here I am. I'm back. I do have some people to thank for donations from my birthday. I will get to that. Just give me a second. Sally, good morning. Miss Can't Be Wrong. Dave, Chicago Muscle. Ronan 456. Jesse Roth. FGF Productions. Thank you, sir. Let's see. Who else? I got to talk to Chicago Muscle, maybe right here through the chat. I got to find out about this. Capello, did I shout you out? No freaking ZD now. I got to find out about this this rap thing with Romano. I was just listening to Chicago's show, but I got some phone calls and stuff, and I couldn't hear much of it. I did see one thing with a bunch of charges on it from 2003. Were they all from 2003? Malik Irvin. What's up, bro? I'm all stuffy today, guys, as usual. Sorry. Jason Mikesell. I flossed it just now. See, what the fuck? And Wise Guy TV. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. Baby A. Okay, Chicago. Baby A, I heard you talk. I said, who is this? Is that Baby A? And sure enough, it was. I thought you weren't real. I thought you were a figment of everybody's imagination, according to Nick Romano. But there you were. I heard you talking on Chicago's show. There's the link, Chicago. Let's see what he has to tell us. Let me get this ready. Yeah, I have to remind myself to do the shout-outs of the people that donated after the shows on Tuesday. Put that in. Fake what? No, didn't Nick Romano say that Baby A isn't real? That she's not a real person or something? That's what I heard. Chicago, what's up, bro?
What are you doing, brother? You got questions? I got answers.
Yeah. Well, what happened? What's going on?
Oh, well, the other day, somebody directed me to some comments that Mr. Romano made where he was declaring war and he was going to take me out and he was going to take you out and he was going to dispose of all the fakers around here. Oh, and no. he was, he was running his big talk, little chest game, over there. He's a punk, you know how he is. And he said he was declaring war on all of us. So I thought to myself, well, if you're going to declare war on me, maybe I'll just go to looking you up and seeing what I can find out about you. Well, you know how it is. I don't take credit for this. I have one of the, because I credit you for being one of them also, but I have one of the greatest researchers in the history of man.
I believe
Who,
it.
you see what I come up with and what I find.
Yeah.
Uh, that has been digging for me for years. Okay, this is where I come up with all my goodies. And yesterday, I let him know that Nick declared war on us and that he wanted to mess with my new friend Bill and my friend Jimmy, and he was declaring war on all the government informants, or as he would like to call them, rats.
Yeah.
All the guys that I feel that truly changed their lives and are good men now. They're not scumbags like Nick. So I decided, I got a hold of my buddy and I dropped his name and I gave him a little bit of information. And within 2 hours, it's typical, I had Nick's entire life in front of me.
Wow.
Nick, we have a lot more than what I actually dropped and a lot more information. But what I want to do, Nick, since you want to declare war on Team Muscle, my friend FBS, Tony Soplo, my friend Jimmy, and Bill and all the people around here, you're going to declare war and you're going to get rid of them. Well, I have declared war on you officially. Okay? And I'm going to slow drip this and make your asshole bleed. You want a Playboy? Huh? You want to strike my channels? You and your little friends wanted to strike my channel? Well, I have set up a task force. It's called the Anti-Douchebag League. And we are going to you're not going to take me out. Okay? You're not going to get rid of me. We're going to get rid of you. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds
Fun?
yeah. A definite possibility. It can happen, no doubt. Yeah,
Uh,
what is he's declared war. What the fuck does he plan on doing to us? He's Nick Romano. What's he gonna do? Just talk more shit and scream?
Well, he's got 30 guys, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Which I haven't seen one of yet. They've been coming for months.
That's
how long's it been already? How long did he start this shit?
I don't know, but the 30 guys, that's probably just his body count. That's how many people he blew. You know what I mean? That's all.
Well, they were sitting over there and they were saying that Baby A was a liar, that she wasn't real, that it was a fake person. It's kind of escalated now. And I brought her on the panel the other day to make sure that everybody knew she was fake. I have personally talked to Baby A. She has my personal number. Okay, and I know for a fact, I have verified that this girl is the same girl that was revenge peed on, after meeting him on your show. Yeah. So I know that for 100% fact. We're going to verify. They say, oh, well, she still isn't showing her picture. Well, Baby A says she wants to get dolled up, get a new haircut before she comes on, and then we're going to have a big showing of Baby A and what she really looks like. I already know.
Well, what the fuck? Well, who is he to talk? His whole fucking channel is trolls and shit. They don't show their fucking faces either. What is he talking about? Like, she don't show her face, so we don't know she's real?
Well, what it is he's denying that she is the girl that he actually had anything to do with.
Oh, okay.
But now let me ask you something, because you were the one that brought this guy, or when I first seen him. I'm not blaming you for bringing him around, but what I want to know is this: when he first came around, I was under the impression that his only charges were he was busted robbing a Subway.
Well, those were charges during his teen years. As an adult, he according to him, he has no record as an adult.
Oh, well, that's absolutely false.
Yeah, he said that he left Staten Island in like 2000, 2001 because he had a warrant, and he went to Florida. So what did you find?
Well, we can verify that there's some drug charges out there.
From 2003?
I'd have to look at the date. I believe 2000. Let me hold on a second here.
The one you had Mike reading last night, they were all 2003.
2003, 2004.
Oh, yeah.
Which adds up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A few years after he got to Florida, he got clipped for some dope. It looks like he's had some fake scripts and maybe some trafficking charges. Everything's going to be double and triple verified, Nick. I just put the initial reports up last night. But here's the thing. If any of this stuff is true, it carries a minimum of 3 years in mandatory minimum. Now, we've also checked his prison record, and there isn't any.
Oh yeah,
So
no, I
you know
don't.
what that means, right?
Well, of course, yeah, yeah. And who
That's
could be
that's an
surprised?
MRE situation, my brother.
Yeah, who could be surprised? Think about it. A guy that will do what he did to Baby A, but just because he's fucking, she walked away from him or whatever. Imagine, and this is the type of dude that would tell on his best friend to get out of a 6-month county sentence.
Well,
You know what I
the thing about it is too. I also hear that he joined We Push Back.
mean? I hope so. That'll
I
fucking.
mean that I have to verify that, but that's the rumor that he is now an official We Push Back supporter, and
Oh
that
my
he will
God.
no longer. Now I did hear out of his mouth on his show that he would no longer bring on informants. They could never be on panel again. Not that any of the guys that I know with any class whatsoever would ever go up there and support someone who revenged a woman like he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill Catullo, Jimmy Calandra, I'm going to tell you something about this guy right now. He says he's going to slander your names and make all kinds of videos and everything. Well, I pulled his ticket. Okay, so now we're going to put him out there on Front Street, and he likes to call people all these rats and all this stuff. Nick, I got a question for you. How come you told FBS, if you don't have anything to hide, that you have no criminal record whatsoever on those drugs? Now, here's the thing that I can verify for everybody right now. The Nick Romano we found in Florida coincides with the time he was in Florida. The Nick Romano that we found in Florida is from New York City. And the Nick Romano that we found in Florida also shares the same date of birth as the Nick Romano on those charges. So it's awful coincidental that there's 2 Nick Romanos that moved from New York to Florida on the same, that have the same birthday, they're the same age as him, and we're going to do the FOIAs on you, boy, and get your mug shots and all of that. We're working on it.
Well, I was just in SoFlo's chat and I saw somebody named Santo, which I assumed was Nick Romano, and he wasn't denying it. He was just saying something about, what happened, the resolution of the charges or some shit like that. So,
but that doesn't absolve him from being a liar if they're not denying. Because here's the thing, FBS, he told you he has no adult charges.
Yeah,
he told Baby A when they were kind of having a little bit of a online romance there and doing what they was doing, that he had no charges like that. So, Nick, if you were charged with these drugs, why not just admit it? I mean, I got busted rolling down the road one night and got caught with a joint in my pocket from a state trooper. Big deal. I don't give a shit if it was an oxycodone. I'd say it. No big deal. I mean, everybody's gotten clipped for partying at one point in time or another, if you ever did very much of it. Right, Chris? You got busted selling cocaine. You admitted to that. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, his story is so weak, I'm of firm belief that he would use that for street credibility.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. That's why it's very suspicious, because he would have came on here on the very first fucking show bragging about his record. So if he's not telling people about his record, there's a fucking reason for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Why would he want to hide that? What would be the reasoning behind hiding, what he did there as far as drugs? I mean, everybody in this room that I'm aware of, a lot of you folks have went through addiction and recovery. You're, former users. I am a former user. I have no, I'm not pointing my finger at him because he was a former junkie. We were all former junkies, I think, at one point. That's a lot of, if you've noticed, bro, that's what leads a lot of people into doing crime. I have robbery on my record, and you know that as well as I do. And I was high when I did it.
Oh, I believe it.
And looking for drug money to do it, just so I could get even higher. So it's not a sin around MobTube to have these type of convictions. So why are you trying to hide them?
Yeah. There's and like you said, he'd use it for street credibility. So there's only one answer. Like you said about me, I'll tell you about my charges because you can go find the record of it and see what my sentence was and stuff. I have nothing to hide. You know
Right.
what I mean? But
Now, when I first met you, you did have some sealed shit, but you went down to the courthouse and got your minutes and put them up here.
yeah, I got.
I was like, oh, that goes that. Can't bash him on that no more. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Couldn't go after you for being a rat. So, because you proved it. You proved you weren't,
Yep.
But realistically, if someone is an informant, okay, in their past life, or they did something wrong like that, I don't go after them for that anyway. Because to be honest with you, everybody you know how rare it is that you get a guy like SoFlo who did 22 years and never told on anybody. You got no rat charges, none of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's the reason why a lot of these guys hide. You know what I mean? Is because they have things in their background they're not proud of. Okay? And I don't mean just by like saying you informed on a case or whatever. I'm saying like look at the Chomo stuff we found and all the crazy Nazi shit we found and all of that type of stuff. There's just there's always an underlying reason. Now maybe Nick doesn't want to be known as someone who was involved in some drug cases because maybe he did something he shouldn't have. Do I have proof that he turned informant on anybody? No, I don't have solid concrete proof of that. So let me say that right now. What I will say is that you get charged with certain things and you walk away from them without being put in jail for them. You make any felon who's been charged for the same type of shit very suspicious of what you've been up to.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Definitely. Yeah, look, that's why he didn't mention them, you know what I mean? Because he didn't want anybody to find them. Like, he couldn't say, I did X amount of time behind these charges. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got these mysterious fucking charges you never told anybody about, and you did no time, no probation, no nothing. Like, how's that possible?
Well, I do believe he got put on probation. I have paperwork that he got put on probation, but I also have paperwork that he violated it. And I still don't have paperwork that he's been in the joint for it. Now, let me say this: when I did that robbery in Illinois, they put me. I served like 90 days in the county jail, going back and forth to court. They gave me probation and a suspended sentence of 7 years time served. When I got out, I went to my father's house in Arkansas because I had no place to go. I went to my father's house in Arkansas. When I was out, I got a job immediately, started doing the right thing. My probation officers were happy with me. No problem whatsoever. They transferred my probation from Illinois to Arkansas. While I was in Arkansas, I went to a party one night, and a kid walked up to me and approached me and said, hey, I'll trade you. I hear you got good weed. I'll trade you this pistol for some weed. And I'm like, I was like, I don't have no weed on me but a quarter ounce for this party. I said, and I'm not going all the way back to my house to get it. I said, but I'll tell you what, I'll give you $50. You can go get your own weed.
Yeah.
Well, I bought a stolen gun. And the kid that was selling the gun, he had been robbing houses for drugs in the town over. And he snitched on everybody and told the cops where all the guns were at. One led back to me. I ended up doing a felon in possession of a firearm on that charge in Arkansas. And when I got out a month later, I just met Brenda that very night. That night, I was at a bar partying. I met Brenda. Her dad had just died, and she was down there having a few drinks, listening to the live band. She says, can you give me a ride home? I live about 3 blocks up. I said, yeah, no problem. On the way home, giving her a ride home, the police pulled me over for doing a U-turn because I missed my turn. They pulled me over, and they're like, you got warrants out of Illinois. I'm like, impossible. I just got out of the penitentiary. They would have checked me. They said, oh, no. They said, you got a robbery charge that you violated on up in Chicago. And so they took me back and extradited me back to Chicago. U.S. Marshals took me back up there, and I went to prison for the original robbery charge up there. So I got violated.
Wow.
The moral of the story is all of this stuff can be documented through my history.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
great.
you've seen it probably, right?
Bro, I saw every fucking detail of it.
Right. So you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
We can find no details of his time, what where they did mandatory drug sentencing, nor when he violated what happened.
Yeah.
He violated it. I've got the paperwork on the probation where he was violated. But I
Well,
can't find out where, you know what I mean? If he went to, initially, I think they might have put him through drug court or whatever.
yeah.
But when you violate, bro, you go bye bye. You're definitely fucked.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Yep. Wise Guy TV said he has mentioned rehab bids in the past, though, so just keep that in mind. Maybe he's hiding his drug addiction. Maybe, but those rehab bids he told us about were when he was underage. He was 16, 17 years old. So he never mentioned anything. When I talked to him on the phone in Chicago, he told me that he wanted to be a security guard, right? And he had to get some type of card or something, a license,
Right.
whatever it is, to be a
Right.
security guard. And he said that he had one small thing on his record or something that got cleared up, and that's why he was able to get this card or whatever it is. So he told me straight up, like, he has nothing in his past,
Well, he's
like,
got a serious drug rap sheet without question.
yeah, well, and those carry the fucking biggest sentences, drug crimes, so I haven't.
Well,
Why
yeah,
haven't you done
he
any
actually
time?
had fake scripts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
that's serious shit, bro. Serious
that's
shit.
when you start doing forgery to go in to get, like I'll just have to, we're gonna leak out everything on you, Mr. Romano. You declared war on me, so let's go to war. I mean, if that's what you want, you're gonna find out that he's the king of mob tube, and I'm simply the absolute fucking best at putting people in their place that declare war on me.
Yeah. What is he thinking? I mean, Jesus Christ, hasn't he taken enough abuse? Does he even? Who is he friends with? What does he have going on? Does he even get any live views? Like, what does he
Well,
get?
he's a couple. He's got the troll army over there blowing him because he's the newest place. Now, I guess BK is his new lisping partner over there in crime. Him and BK have teamed up, and they're gonna, along with Pole Smoke. Don't mean to bring up any bad names, and they're all gonna take down the bad people and the fakes around here.
Really?
Well, Nick, you're the number one fake because you're as gangster as my left sock. You're a jerk off, bro. You're a punk. You ain't got no street in you, or you wouldn't run your mouth. Are you a made guy, motherfucker?
Are
You
you
know
a
what?
made guy?
Yeah, I mean, who even asked that question if you want a real answer? A made guy wouldn't tell you if he was made clown. He'd probably have you clipped for asking.
Yeah, no shit.
Stupid. But you're supposed to know that, right? Because you're from Staten Island with 30 guys. The fuck out of here.
Yeah. So Nick Romano and BK want to go to war with us.
That's what I'm hearing.
That'll be fun. I'm down.
I don't know about BK. He signed BK's name on the dotted line. Now, has BK signed his name on the dotted line? I don't know. I don't think BK wants any smoke of any like that, okay? I went at it with that guy for a while, and he was like, I don't really hate you and all this. And do I hate BK? No, not really. But he wants to throw names in the hat. He wants to throw Gunsmoke's name in the hat. Wants to throw Rob Jean's name in the hat. Wants to throw this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. Well, I'm going to tell all of you motherfuckers, back away and let him fight his own battles, or you can all get it. Okay? Yeah. I don't give it. You're supporting a guy who revenge porned a friend of mine.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can't even believe that's the funny thing about people. They'll fucking align themselves with any scumbag on mob.
They want to propose themselves, Chris, as Italian gentlemen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? No women, no children, none of this bullshit. But then when something happens like this, they want to say, well, we should all just stop talking about it and it'll go away. No, it ain't.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. So that's the thing about like BK and these guys, they like you said, they want to play gentlemen, but in reality, they'll team up with a fucking piece of shit like this who did what he did to Baby A. It's fucking sickening. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
what I say. None of them stand for any fucking thing. None of them.
No, they don't. Absolutely not. And but then they want to come after us and call us fake.
Yeah, I know.
We're fake guys. My history's out there. Everything I've ever done, my kids' names, everything. I've been completely doxxed. You can't do nothing to me. They've been striking my channel here as of lately, and I might ask, Miss Can't Be Wrong, if you would drop the link to my new channel, because they've been striking me and trying to get rid of me that way. Well, you cannot hide the truth. I don't care if I've got one person watching. I'll go back to making Chicago Muscle videos on 15 different channels, but it's gonna get out there.
Yeah. So he's got the troll army with him, like MRE's people?
Some, yes.
Oh my god. So they're just going on like a
Parasite Slayer's a moderator in his chat, bro.
Oh my god.
If that tells you anything. Right. If that tells you anything.
Yeah, that guy is such a fucking scumbag. Oh my god. I told you, man, birds of a feather flock together.
They really do, bro. It's the truth.
A guy shows up and basically exposes himself to be the fucking animal that he is, and all the other animal scumbags fucking flock to him. It's amazing. Like, I'm not surprised at all. Jesus Christ.
No, it is. It's, the flies will all gather upon a turd.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
You know what I mean? And that's just what you're seeing here now. They all run over there, and now I'm getting screen captures that he owes one of his subs money he borrowed and won't pay it back, and it's the circus is well started.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I heard he goes around asking for money from people.
Matt, really? What does that tell you?
Yeah, I know. Well,
what does that tell you? If I have to be desperate enough to ask, like if I was to come to you and say, bro, could I borrow $100 or something, man? I'm a little low over here, whatever. You know what that $100 is for? Okay? It damn sure ain't to go buy a pair of gym shoes or whatever.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean? It's going to be for because I got such a problem, I'm desperate enough to ask friends for money.
Well, he is without a doubt severely addicted to probably multiple substances. I mean, look at the way he screams and shit. This is like meth shit. You know what I mean? This is fucking crazy.
Given his charges, it's opiates.
Oh, really?
Now, he might have switched gears. Yeah, he likes to go up instead of down now. You know what I mean? But back in the day, it was opiate charges, oxycodone, Percocets, that type of thing.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he likes to go up now instead of down. There's no doubt, because I don't see him nodding. I don't see him knock the fuck out. I don't ever see him even relaxed.
No, he's always spun. He's always, like the first time he came on your show and you're like, bro, how come you're so loud? He's like, he's always, he was on a run, bro. You could tell. I know what that looks like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so that makes sense. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's hilarious to me. I get so much satisfaction out of, those scumbags teaming up with him, because it's like you're just further reinforcing my belief that you're all a bunch of fucking animals who flock towards bad fucking people. And not only that, but you're proving everything I've always said about all of you. You know what I mean? This is what I've been saying about all of you for years. We all have, and it's like you just prove it when you do shit like this. It's so fucking funny. It's
yeah. They think that they're going to win this little war. I got news for you. We've been winning right along for years. Everything about us is out there, bro. What are they gonna? What they got? They don't even have the tools to fight.
I know.
And then you get stuff like this that comes in. And what did he think? We weren't going to find out? The minute he declared war on me and he was going to get rid of me, I found out what color the panties your mom wears, bro. What do you think you're going to do to me, Nick? Okay? Yeah. We got your whole life on record now. So if you want me to continue to put it out, I'll tell you what, keep bashing good guys like Jimmy and Bill. You want to go to war with me, I don't really care. Because, here's the thing, Nick. You just give me content. I'm going to do a show on you. I'm going to laugh at you. We're going to pull Baby A up there, make a fool out of you, show everybody that Parasite Slayer was lying, that she's a fake woman and all this stuff. You're all losing your credibility. You're looking like fools. You might as well go under a rock.
Yeah.
So
it was Parasite Slayer that said she was fake.
Yeah, he had made a post that said that she wasn't even a real person.
Wow.
But that's what they do. They lie and try and distort the issue. They also said, like, Butterfly Kisses was Brenda. That Butterfly Kisses was my wife, and all this crap. And it's like, that's not true.
Well, it's so funny they say that about Baby A, because Parasite Slayer isn't a real person. He's a fucking fruit that hides behind an avatar and pretends to be a bunch of things he's not.
Like a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think there was something recently too. There was something else he said he was that was complete bullshit. Like, the guy doesn't know the first thing about the law. He pretends to be a fucking lawyer. So who's the fake one, dickhead?
Well, yeah, because he absolutely got destroyed. I mean, destroyed by common sense.
Took him apart piece by piece.
And then everybody's bragging, Parasite wins. On what fucking planet do you come from that he won that debate?
Bro, one thing I learned about these debates, whoever you want to win, that's the guy who won. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that whole troll army, like, for instance, anybody I debate, anybody, like if somebody came on here right now and I literally just fucking dismantled them, destroyed them, and they said something like, FBS, you're a dickhead, and then left the panel, they would say he won. They would say, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, it's all bullshit and bias. So.
Well, of course, and that's a troll army game. Whether they win or lose, they still won.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and if I had it handed to me, I'd be like, damn, dude got up in me. You know what I mean? Holy shit, I don't want to talk to him no more. You know, but not them guys. If they lose, they still won.
Yeah, oh yeah, because they're fucking delusional. That's what makes them who they are. Yeah, look at them. They actually think they're the good guys. That's how delusional they are. The fucking insane, horrible, egregious shit they've done to people, and they claim they're the good ones, and they're fighting evil when they're fighting.
Well, you know what kills me? What kills me is Nick Romano was just. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know the complete history of this. Was just buddies with Bill Catullo, and he was just had Jimmy on his panel, blowing Jimmy, trying to get him to come to his show and all that stuff. Correct?
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Now they're both no good rats. He never should have had association with them. They're the worst people in the world. That's a flip flop, man. That is a flip flop, and it's like within a 2-week period, he starts going after Bill. Now, you know, and he's like, "Oh, Bill, you're a rat. I've got footage, bro, of him running his mouth saying that Bill Catullo snitched on the people that he knew his whole life and that loved him and all this shit. Yeah, they loved him so much they killed his father. They loved him so much they were going to lead him into a basement and blow his head off."
Yeah. Oh,
just to make sure that he didn't snitch because of the revenge for his father.
Yeah, or that he didn't kill any of them in revenge for his father. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Now, somebody kills your father, okay? I don't know how you feel about your father, FBS, but I had a absolutely close relationship with mine. I love my father. He was the greatest man in my eyes that ever lived. And for them to take his life, snitching, they're lucky they're not all in a box somewhere. One by one by one by one. I would turn into some fucked up dude from the movies. You know what I mean? Like the Gerard Butler, where you all just start disappearing one at a time. You know what I mean? Like Death Wish and shit. And for him to have turned state's evidence against people he knew his whole life. Yeah, the people he knew his whole life killed his father.
Yeah, he just wanted to find his dad. You know what I mean? He just wanted to find his dad. And fucking Nick is full of shit because Nick used to fucking ride his dick so bad, Bill Catullo's dick. He would put, every time Bill would comment on one of his videos, he would screenshot it and then post it in his community with, it would say like, my brother Bill. Like that's,
I remember that.
Call Bill and be like, Jesus Christ, bro, this guy is, if you want him as a cock holster, you got him.
Well, if you notice everything about this kid, he's playing clips from all the guys, you know, the Goodfellas and the Godfather, and everything about this kid is he wants to be a wankster gangster. You know what I mean? It's all of it is his whole life is based around the La Cosa Nostra. But then he wants to, and he was friends with a couple of the guys who were actually in that life, like Jimmy, like Bill, who were associates, or Jimmy was on the street. These are guys that Bill's father was infamous. Okay, they knew he was well known. But
Yeah.
and so he gets this association, but the we push back guy's getting his ear, and just that fast he flips him.
Well, I'll tell you what it is too. You said a little while ago about how he was on Jimmy's dick and Bill's dick, and then now he's with he's anti-rat. The only thing that changed between him, being obsessed with these guys and then all of a sudden hating them, the only thing that changed is that they just stopped fucking with him. They stopped liking him. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody does that on here. You'll be friends with these guys, then they'll turn, they'll decide that they don't want to be a part of your bullshit anymore.
Well,
They don't want
maybe
to be
they don't
involved
want to
with
be
you.
associated with a guy that actually put a woman's nude pictures out without permission.
Of course, yeah, and other shit he's done, low life shit. You know what I
Right,
mean?
and
So it's like,
all of that stuff combined, probably they said, "Whoop, this kid's, he's kind of going down a wrong path. I don't want my name attached to that."
yeah, so many people have been cool with these guys, and then as soon as they go their separate ways, then all of a sudden these guys are scumbags, they're rats, they're blah 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 blah. But you loved them a minute ago. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's how you know. If a guy can be friends with these guys, okay, then he has no problem with rats. Period. Okay. So when he walks away, it's not convincing now that you're just saying, "Oh, I don't like rats." You liked them a minute ago, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
what happened?
Yeah.
That's just like that's one of the reasons why, like me and Angel, people say, are you guys friends or not friends or whatever. Even when we're at odds, and that's just kind of the way our relationship is. Sometimes we're cool with each other, sometimes we're not. It's just the way it is. But you will never see me openly bash her. And be like, I'll tell the truth about a situation maybe that comes up or whatever I have in the past, but I don't like to do that because why? Because it makes you look like a butthurt stalker fan weirdo. Okay, and it really does. Because you don't want to be my friend no more, or we don't get along as good as we used to, or whatever. I need to spend my every waking moment and completely turn my stance on who I was when I knew you. That's just, to me, it's fake, and that's what he's doing to these guys right now.
Well, look, that's I've been a victim of that for fucking years. I can't end a friendship with anybody without them declaring full blown war and doing fucking 9,000 videos about me. You
Right,
know what I
and when,
mean?
when
It's
your
like,
thing with Angel ended, you go out of your way, and I've noticed this, not to say anything. You don't want to start the old feud back up again.
yeah,
You both have hard feelings towards things that have happened in the past or whatever, but you both, and she does it too. You both, as adults, you know what I mean, choose to try and keep it at a bare minimum when it comes to hurting each other. Now, obviously,
yeah,
sometimes you're doing live shows or something, and the past will come up, and something will need to be answered because these trolls in the chat. If you read the
yeah.
chat, when you're live, they'll bring something up just to get you to stir, so they can stir a little trouble. But the adults in the room, they don't have to constantly hurt each other. They know how they feel, and they can move on in life. It's these weird stalker fans like him, and that's exactly what he is. He's MRE Stan. You always hear MRE calling people Stans. Well, that's what he
Yeah.
is. He's a stalker fan, bro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
now these two guys that gave him a shot and went on his show and were nice to him are they're rats. There are no more rats on my panel. I'm gonna join We Push Back.
Yeah, well, that's because Nick just wants to fit in with somebody and have some sort of crew. And now that we don't want no parts of him, and those guys are friends with us, and they were, they were helping him out and shit. Now he's got to do the exact opposite. Now all of a sudden he's anti-rat and blah blah
Well,
blah.
well,
You
well
know what I
now
mean?
he's trying to build a crew to come after us. Let me explain something to you, Nick. The guys that you're trying to build a crew with, I dismantled them years ago.
Me too.
You're not building a crew on a solid foundation. You're not building your house on concrete, bro. You're building your house on sand right next to the beach. Because when you get these guys put in a hot seat, like only we can do, they're gonna move out from away from you, bro. They're not gonna stand by you, and that's the truth.
Well, not just that, but what the fuck are they going to do? They've been coming after us for years. What he just hasn't been around to see it. He thinks they could do some new shit. They're the least effective fucking troll army in the fucking world. I have never seen them do any real damage to anyone. You know
No,
what I mean?
the worst thing they do is strike channels now. This is their new thing. They're gonna strike me out of existence. This is and try and silence the truth.
Yep.
And well, guess what? I just decided last night I'm not one for striking channels. I'm not someone who generally likes to go around and hurt another man's pocketbook. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. I'll come at you verbally, but I'm not going to tell on you. Well, since you've struck me twice in the last week, and I've actually had to open up a new channel, we built the task force. And I've got lots of names that emailed me last night and said, we're in. So
Really?
guess what? Watch for it, boys. It's coming.
Interesting. Yeah, well, look, he doesn't know. He still hasn't learned yet. He hasn't been around long enough. I'll always say that because if he had seen all this shit that took place since the beginning, he wouldn't be so cocky and think that he's actually going to come in here and put even a fucking dent in anything. You know what I mean? Like, he has no idea the wars that have taken place. You know what I mean? Even between like me and you.
Oh,
Me and
yeah.
SoFlo, you and SoFlo, me and Angel. I mean, me and MRE, you and MRE. All these, you know, he has no fucking idea how bad it can get. He still hasn't really felt it, you know, because we're not attacking his fucking family or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't know how bad it can get when he does that to us.
Well, he accused me of calling his mother and prank calling his mom.
Yeah.
And it's a lie. You know as well as I do. You, as my enemy, you know I would never do that.
Yeah,
When me and you were going at it, I never would call your mom. I don't play that game. I don't call people's moms. That's some true low-life shit. I can get you triggered and have a good time with you without, you know, bothering your mom and all that crap. I don't do that crap, but he's accusing me of it. And I know who put that bug in his ear. The people he thinks are his friends.
Of course. Yeah, he's a fucking dope. You know, he listens to whatever they tell him. You know, anything happens to him, anything. If he gets a flat tire tomorrow, the troll army will tell him we popped it. It was me and you.
Yeah,
you know
we slit his tires.
Yeah, we met up in Arizona and fucking popped his tires. Like
we all got on a plane and put tacks under his wheels.
yeah. And they'll have him convinced of it because he's stupid. You know what I mean? So all he's got to do is say, "My mom got pranked," and they're like, "Oh, that's FBS Muscle and SoFlo." You know
yeah,
I mean?
it had to be those guys. The guys that I never called anybody's mother in my life ever. You know, come on, that's just now I understand. You know, like the thing with pizza, where he was getting so low down and calling people's jobs and everything that the information to actually shut pizza down had to be gotten. I get that.
Well, but not just that, but we didn't attack her. We had a nice, pleasant conversation with her. It was a different thing. You know what I mean? Like, he acts like we called her up and fucking threatened her life or something. It was a pleasant phone call.
Yeah, and I would never associate with people that would do that to an innocent, woman or anything, bro. I don't go, if me and you have a problem, FBS, and me and you can't settle it like men, that's just, and we have hurt each other in the past. Like you said stuff, I said stuff about Shanna. I'm not proud of that. That was wrong, dude. That's why I came to you and said I was sorry. I should have never done that. It was just, when you, in the heat of the battle, sometimes you want to win so bad, you will actually say things to the other person. You can't hurt them, but you learn through their reaction what triggers them. You know what I mean? And but that's still no excuse, bro. Not even in war should you do it. You know what I mean? It's not but I guess, you live and you learn, and you learn to regret some things you've done also.
Well, me too. I mean, things get so fucking heated that you do what you do to the other person, whatever's going to hurt them the most. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And Nick, we've learned from our experiences. Don't make us teach you the same lesson.
Yeah, he has no idea.
We're trying to save you, Nick. We're trying to save you from yourself. Because believe me, ain't nobody scared here, homie.
Well, all those pussies, those fucking trolls that are afraid to show their fucking faces, those cowards, they're gonna fucking what they do is they find clowns like him. Like he's a fucking asshole who's trying to find a crew, trying to fit in. So they fucking surround him basically.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
fucking tell him, listen, we got your back, blah, 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 do this, this, and this. And then he goes out and does it. But he's going to be the one that takes the hits because we know who he is. He
Yeah,
doesn't realize that. And they get to sit back and laugh because they're using him like the tool that he fucking is.
yeah, yeah. But what they don't realize is eventually, and I do mean eventually, they'll do that to the wrong person that they trusted.
Oh, yeah.
That's how NB got. MRE got that way. Everybody gets got. They trust the wrong person, and then bang. By the time you know it, me and SoFlo got your docs. And you're regretting life at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens, man. They don't know.
So what's the show about today? I guess this, huh?
Yeah. Pretty much. I heard about this. Jesse Roth texted me last night and said something about it, about what you did on your show. So this morning I tried to watch as much of it as I could just to catch up because,
right.
Listen, personally, I don't even give a fuck who's cooperated. The thing is, though, if you're either trying to be anti-rat, okay, or tear people down who did the shit in the past, then it's a different fucking story. You know what I mean? If you ain't going around running your fucking mouth about rats and shit, I don't even really care that much if you cooperated. But the fact that you've been giving us a bullshit story, kind of makes it important. You know what I mean?
Also, the thing that kind of draws my attention is when my channels get struck, and then the next day you declare war.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a big mistake because you just declared your own butt fucking, pal. It's all you did. You just screwed yourself. No lube. Because do I think you're behind some of that? You bet. Do I think that your channel's going to go down? No, not right away. We want you to get on there and finish your lies so we can trip you up on them. Then we'll destroy your channel. We want you to incriminate yourself, Nick. So come on today, call me a liar. That wasn't me, blah, 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 blah. All the typical denial, and then I'll prove you wrong. How about that? Because what I do, Nick, and I want you to listen to me real closely. This is how I work. I put just enough out so you can hang yourself with it and go into denial. Then I drop the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he's going to react, if he's going to deny it or what, because that's the best thing. Like you said, what I love to do is when I have something on somebody, let them lie and lie and lie and lie and lie, and then show the proof. You know what I mean? Like
exactly, bro. Let him go ahead and get enough rope out there. It's kind of like fishing. The fish nibbles.
Yep.
The fish nibbles. And finally, when you see that line starting to go out into the water and they take the bait fully, they hook themselves generally.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
So,
well, it's going to be an interesting day, as usual.
Well, yeah, it's MobTube, bro. Yeah.
Never
why do you think I stick around here? Because I absolutely loathe douchebags like him. Okay? I absolutely loathe them. People that put out women's pictures and stuff like that, you're somebody that Nazis, scumbag pedophiles, weirdos like that, I thoroughly enjoy. I get it. You don't have to pay me. I literally get a kick out of it.
You get chicken skin. You get chicken skin.
Yeah, with 30 guys coming here. Wow. So, all right, brother. I hope I answered your questions. I'm going to let you get back to your show. Everybody, don't forget I'm on a new channel now. Miss Can't Be Wrong. If you drop it one more time. And Chris, if you got any more questions, just get with me, bro.
All right. Thank you, man.
Take care, buddy.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. All right. There you go. There's the story. So listen, guys, Anonymous Legion sent $20, 20 euros, I'm sorry, and said, good evening, all. Please be kind and match or get labeled Tony Pizza. Now, that's a real challenge, okay? You either match Anonymous Legion or you are forever known as Tony Pizza. Plus, Anonymous Legion is one of the biggest sponsors of this show. So I'm sure you would love to donate, and match him. It would only be right. It would only be right. You know the rules. When somebody says match, if they're one of the biggest sponsors of the show, you have to match them. So donations would be nice right now. Thank you. Yeah, listen, I don't know, man. It's like I was starting to say with Chicago. Like, I don't even really give a fuck at this point anymore who cooperated. You know what I mean? Most people on the streets are rats any fucking way. But you know, when you all of a sudden turn into this anti-rat person, and now you're talking about how you hate government informants and shit, it is interesting, at the very least, to find out that, oh, look, you told on some people too. Not just that, but you know, I truly believe that that Nick is a horrible fucking human being, and to some extent, at least, a huge bullshitter. Like I told you, his story as a kid, I don't know. I have no reason to say that was bullshit, but I think a lot of shit he said since he's been on here is bullshit. I'm not talking about that specifically, but other shit in his lifetime. You know, stories he's told and everything. And I always wondered how the fuck a person like him, who's out of control as he is, doesn't have an adult criminal record. How is that fucking possible? Like, I did wonder that. So this shit Chicago found doesn't surprise me. Like, I didn't really research this guy. All I did was I looked him up to find out where he lives and stuff like that, you know, just because I wanted to find out if he's really taken care of the way I think he is. And I was right. But I never researched him like that, you know. So this information is funny, and it's not really surprising at all, because how does a guy that insane not have charge after charge? I know guys like that who are lunatics, and they have fucking records a mile fucking long. So I'm not surprised. This is a snake. You know what I mean? This is a fucking true snake. Like, if you're talking to a chick and she's nice to you and she tries to help you and all this stuff, and then for whatever reason she decides, okay, it's time for us to go our separate ways, and you post nude pictures of her, you fit the description to a T of a person who would tell on their best fucking friend in a heartbeat. In a fucking heartbeat. You know what I mean? Because you have no loyalty to anybody, and you'll do the lowest shit to get revenge on people. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be shocked if he wasn't a rat. You know what I mean? I'd be shocked. So I'm not surprised by any of this, but I'm glad that Chicago got the information. And I want to see if this guy's going to deny it. What I was saying to Chicago in the beginning when he came on is that in SoFlo's chat a little while ago, I saw something that said, it was a guy named Santo. They blocked the comment, but I have a wrench there so I can look at it. And it said, something about, do you know what the charges are about? Did you find out the resolution? Like, it sounded to me like it was Nick or one of his scumbag friends trying to defend the charges, not deny them, you know? So that's what I want to see what happens, if he defends or denies. I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. Who had a gun? When? Baby A. What are you talking about? God, look at these fucking Chicago. You and FBS are good up there together. Give Mike Slick the old heave ho if he gets snarky with you. Just kidding, Mike. No, Mike is the man, bro. Mike is the man. He's a perfect co-host, without a doubt. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about today too. We can keep going about this for a while, but I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up. Something else I I hate to even talk about this fucking clown, but did you guys see that video of fucking Tony Pizza punching Leon? Oh my God. It was the first thing I saw this morning when I woke up. Somebody sent me the video, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Unbelievable. The way he beats that dog, and fucking dried up raggedy cunt twats like fucking fucking Terry time are over there claiming to love dogs. You know, they love dogs so much, but you'll sit there and watch him do that, and it's nothing to you. You know what I mean? It doesn't even phase you, right? You just keep supporting him and throwing money at him. It's, you know, it's hilarious because, like, as people with brains, okay, we get so fucking frustrated at the fact that it's like you constantly got to convince people that this guy is a bad guy. You know, and that's what I do on here. In case you haven't noticed, my thing since the beginning is convincing people that other people are frauds or scumbags, lowlifes. You know what I mean? And the reason I have to convince them is because so many people, and we see this every day with Trump supporters and shit, so many people do not understand that they're looking at a horrible human being or a fraud. Somehow they fool themselves into thinking there's something else. But when you watch Tony Pizza beating a fucking dog, you still need me to convince you he's a fucking lowlife? It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's like, and people see whatever they want. They just, if they don't want to see a dog abuser, they don't see one, no matter how much he hits that dog. It's fucking crazy. It's like Trump will say certain things to his audience to just, you know, kind of bash them or make fun of them. And then his whole audience is like, no, he was joking, or no, what do you mean? Or you'll tell them about something horrible he's done in his past. And they're like, but look at the other guy who did this. And they'll see whatever they want to see. They'll excuse whatever they want to excuse. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's infuriating to somebody like me who sees through everybody and is able to see people for what they are and fucking pick these people apart. You know, no matter how good you are at explaining to people what somebody is all about, if they don't want to believe it, they're not going to believe it. Period. And we've seen it with Tony Pizza's supporters. We've seen it with MRE supporters. We've seen it with a lot of people's supporters on here. You know, that you can't convince them that they've been tricked or fooled or that the person they're supporting is a fucking horrible human being. Terry Time, though, for example, is a piece of shit. Like, she doesn't give a fuck really about whether or not he beats dogs. She'll support him as long as he bashes the people she doesn't like. And ever since I called her, I didn't even call her a redneck. I ever since I used the word redneck, it drove her fucking insane. And now she wants to help somebody try to destroy me or something. So she's just another one of them that'll just throw money at him to get him to bash me. She doesn't really give a fuck who he is as a person. You know what I mean? It's just like the rest of those scumbags. They don't give a fuck if Pizza lies about being in the mob and lies about everything else. They don't care. They're there to hear him trash whoever they want him to trash, and that's it. And as long as he's doing that, he keeps their interest. Simple as that. Nikki has a drug and gun. Oh, he has a gun charge too? Oh, yeah. If he ain't doing no time for a gun charge, yeah, something's wrong. War. What cracks me up is some of these fools think it's okay to try and back people into a corner. I'd be careful if I were you, trolls. Yeah, no shit. It hasn't worked out for them in the past. I don't know. And nobody seems to report him about any fucking thing. I don't get it. Can't somebody use that video to call the fucking cops or something and say, look at this guy, look what he's doing? I don't know, man. It's weird. That's fucked up to hurt an animal. I guess, you know, without knowing exactly where he is, that would make that difficult. But there's been so many other times he's done it. We've known exactly where he is, you know? So, FGF, they used to, and they had his location, but without it, there's nothing they could do, I guess. Yeah, and you know, the cops would come there, they would talk to him, and then they would leave. He'd give them some bullshit story about the woke jokes and how they're just they're mad at him because he doesn't like the LGBTQ, and sure they lie and say he beats his dog, and you know, and then the cops leave, like, because of course they do. You know what I mean? They're not really there to help you, so to help anybody. They only go there because he bashes FBS. Yeah, exactly. Let me see something, guys. Give me a second. When he isn't bashing FBS, they won't come around. Yeah, it's true. He knows it. That's why he made the fatal mistake the other night of what was that word I was just about to say? Threatening me and my family with basically an act of terrorism. You know, if strapping explosives to himself, filling his stupid camper full of fuel, and driving into my fucking house. You know, real fucking bright, real bright, dickhead. That's gonna work out well for you. Yeah. Good luck. That's all I can say. So yeah. Anyway, I don't really even like talking about him no more. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm just disgusted. Nick loves animals, from what I see. Sally, it was pizza. Why would Sally say? Oh yeah. The ASPCA has been called over and over. I heard. Probably. It's just a shame nobody does anything about this. Baby A, when he gets the vilest, he posts cute animal pics claiming to have rescued them. Oh, yeah. I heard about that. I never saw it, but I heard about it. The cats and shit. Tony Pizza recently mentioned that he wants to start a taxidermy business by turning dead pets into hats. Why would I want to wear my deceased cat's fur on my head? He isn't Daniel Boone. He said that? The fuck? Yeah, the grift dies here. He certainly is. No donations today, guys? What's going on? What's happening? I'm giving you a good show here. Troy, Yizzo gang, what up, FBS? Good to catch the live, bro. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. FBS, I'm late, but have we went over JC being gay yet? Oh, well, he is. I mean, that's all I have to say about it at the moment. But maybe on the next show, we'll talk about him some more. Has JC started any trouble lately, or has he been silent? Because I'll tell you the truth, no matter how much of a lowlife you are, if you're being silent, I think it's best to just leave you alone. I always kind of do that. I leave people alone when they're silent. It's when they start talking again that trouble starts. You know, I think it's like I used to tell SoFlo when Chicago would go away for a while. I'd say, SoFlo, now don't talk about him no more. Don't talk about him no more. He's going to come back. You know what I mean? And SoFlo couldn't help himself. And then boom, Chicago would be back. I'd be like, yeah, thanks a lot, SoFlo. Here we go again. Nobody's answering. I guess he hasn't started any trouble. Well, listen, guys, I guess we'll find out more about the Nick thing sometime throughout the day, or probably at 8:00 on Chicago's show, or we'll at least see how Nick reacts. I'm going to go do some stuff. I want to be out. It's a beautiful day. I want to be out. And I'll see you guys later. I'll be on later. I'm gonna let me see. What time is it? 12:53. So I'm gonna shoot for 5:00. So everybody be back here at 5:00, please, and we'll talk some more. All right. Thanks for everything, guys. I love you all, and until next time, salute.